Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's just a little update on the church for sale here, St Cattwg's, which is in Llanspyddid. I think that's how you pronounce it. So the first thing I tried to do was ring the church in Wales to try and get information, but as usual they didn't answer the phone, just went to an answer message. So I sent an email, and about 3 to 5 days later I got an email back, and I put it on the screen now. And if that's too small for you to read, I shall read it out now. Thank you for your email and for registering your interest in the former St Cattwg Church. At this stage, there are no further details available regarding the sale. However, our agents are continuing to log the details of interest parties and will ensure you are kept informed as soon as more information becomes available. We are in the early stages of discussions about a possible lease for a community group at the church in Penderyn, and also says, would it be possible for me to give a link to my YouTube channel? So I was glad that they did respond to me, but it's not really helped me. My questions to them were like, obviously, I wanted more information about the church, and I was trying to get inside. And I said, like, I want to obviously check it out for myself, but also I've got a YouTube channel. I also asked about the church in Penderyn because I inquired in that church over 2 years ago. Um, so yeah, literally, they've given me, nothing really. There's nothing to tell. They haven't said I can go inside the church. I think they're more worried about, my YouTube channel. That's why they're asking about that. So they probably, I don't know if they'll like my channel or not. That's not my problem really if they don't. Um, but yeah, it's quite interesting about the Penderyn Church. So they're possibly doing a community group, which to me, I think is something. But if you're going to do that, just do it quickly, because that church is getting damaged now. So you need to get people up there. But I don't see how that's going to work, because 10 years ago they were doing community things to try and go up there and trim the place, keep it nice and tidy, and it didn't work back then. So to me, that's a stupid idea, because the people should have thought about this before. They should have looked after it beforehand, and it's a little bit too late now. That's what I think anyway. The problem with most people is, like, they don't appreciate what they've got. Then it goes, then they start crying about it and saying, "Oh yeah, we'll start doing something about it." And they might do for like a few weeks, and then they get bored, and then it'll go back to the same way it was. You need someone like myself who wants to buy the church, who wants to do things with it. And like, for example, if I get this church here, I will then stir up the community and try and get help from them, and then, you know and I'll be the main person, not the Church of Wales, who's got like hundreds and thousands of church to deal with. They haven't got the time or the effort really to do it. So anyway, I replied straight back to their email and gave a link to my YouTube channel and explained, I've only just started and it's nothing special, but I haven't heard nothing back. So whether they've looked at it or they've looked at it and not liked what I was saying, I don't know. I shall keep you all updated anyway if I get a response and if there's any more news about the church. So I'll give you some information now on different things I found out about this church, because as I said before, I didn't even know this church existed when I first came across it. So this yew tree here is the biggest one out of there's either 8 or 10 yew trees here. 2 of them have been cut down, but this one is the first one, and it's the biggest, and it measures roughly 8.5 meters around, which these trees are very hard to date, and I'm still going to do a whole video about yew trees. But this tree is most probably around 1500 to 1800 years old, as like a rough estimate. It's a female tree, and it's got a lovely little hollow bit here, as you can see inside. Now, the graveyard itself has plenty of really nice gravestones, and I'll do a little montage next of the ones that I really like. But this is probably the most special one, and this dates back to roughly the 7th, 8th century, and it's got like a Celtic cross marked on it. It's very hard to see this on the video, and actually in real life it's very hard to see. But there's a like a Celtic cross, and it's got a few circles around it. Now, this is believed to be the burial site of the father of the King of Wales from the 5th century. And again, I can do a video about this in the future. Now, what this gravestone really needs is a good restoration, and I'm actually looking into like doing it as a side hustle, learning how to clean up these gravestones and bring them back to life so we can see what's written there. So yeah, I'll probably do some sort of training or course on that so that I could professionally be able to do it. So I'll show you some of the pictures I've took of the more interesting gravestones, and there's plenty in this graveyard. And as you see in here, there's loads that are buried. There's it needs to be all, weeded and all the brambles gone. And I'm sure you'll find lots more interesting gravestones. But there's ones like this, a simple wooden cross, um, and this kind of like stonework, absolutely beautiful. Then you'll have like this one here has been toppled over. Now, if I ever did buy the church, I would be putting these back to where they should be, and trying to restore not only the church but the graveyard too. Again, that's if I'm allowed to because of all the regulations and this and that. But I can't see why people would object to me trying to fix this the graveyard. But you never know with people. So I took my drone to the church, and I've got some footage to show you now. So I'll leave you with that. And at the end of the drone footage, I've took pictures of every gravestone that's leaning against the church. Now, even if I don't buy the church, I'm hoping that whoever does get it, they might be able to watch this video and like zoom into the gravestones to see what's actually written there, because a lot of them are getting very old and be very hard to read. But maybe this will help as a documentation of the gravestones that are there. So thanks to everyone who takes the time to watch these videos. I hope you're enjoying them, and yeah, keep on watching the channel because there'll be plenty more coming up.